Well, I was born here, is where I call my home. The middle of a cornfield, miles away from what you know.
What's up? Hey, my name is Brian Rood. I create artwork for the entertainment industry, and I work very long hours on the computer and over at the traditional easel doing paintings and stuff like that. Um, so I'm always kind of looking for the best tools that I can use to execute the jobs. And this one is pretty exciting. It's pretty cool. It's a prototype. It's called the Zoot system, and it basically takes the best of the Wacom stands, the ergonomic Ergotron arms, and all the different monitor mounts that we've all used and tried to use over the years, and it flips it on its side. And Chris over there, the creator of this at Zoot, has created something pretty fantastic. So instead of the traditional mounts and arms and stands that we're all used to using in this field, this bad boy has got some new bells and whistles that I've never seen before. And I've been using it now for maybe 30 days, 60 days, month or two, and I love it. It's completely changed the workflow. It's completely made everything that I do down here more ergonomic, more user-friendly, just better. So let's take a look at it. All right, so essentially, like all the other arms and stands and everything, it functions like those, but in a completely new way. It's fantastic. It has these little hand brakes back here that you'll see. You can't see it now, I'll show it a little bit later in the video. You make a connection with your fingertips, and basically it takes a big old 27-inch or 32-inch, whatever size you use. It's universal. It can fit multiple different monitors from Wacom. I'm imagining any monitor, really. It's just a VESA mount. And it's flawless. It locks into system. It's stable, as you could, way more stable than any other one I've used. And it's so user-friendly. You can slide it around on your desktop. It's got room for the keyboard underneath if you want to work that way, if that's part of your workflow. For me, my keyboard's always over here, and I use it in the drawing position like this. As soon as you let up, this thing locks, man. It is locked solid. Like you can see, I'm pushing on it. So when you're working and drawing, painting, whatever you're doing, you don't have to worry about this thing moving one way or the other. An additional feature, which is kind of new, to, I believe, to this latest version of the prototype that they have out, is the swivel feature, which is great for illustrators, engineers, you name it. Really anybody that's working on a big graphics tablet like this. You're not stuck in the landscape mode. You can actually pivot this bad boy into full portrait mode, which is fantastic. I don't use it a lot like this, but it is a killer feature to have, and that's built in, I believe, on all the new systems. Flip her back. It has these sliders, so on your desktop, if you want to rearrange it, get comfortable, lean in one position or another, you can actually just manipulate it any which way due to this mounting system, which is great. It's a super simple system. You can see the arm here. This basically just goes back, attaches with the standard clamp like you would get on one of the Ergotron arms or other monitor mounts, and you clamp it to the back of your desk. It counterbalances, so as long as your desk has enough depth to it, this thing would pretty much work on about any desk. And I've been using, like I said, for a couple of months here, and there's almost no friction or anything below it. I'm not the most dust-free fella in the art studio, so if this thing was going to take a bad turn on me, it would have by now. I use it every day. I'm here, oh geez, anywhere from 8 hours to 12 hours a day working on this thing, and it has worked flawlessly. And this is just the prototype, so I can't even imagine how good the new one's going to be. I don't know what more I can really say about it other than if you do what I do for a living and you're working at a monitor like this for multiple hours a day, this thing, in my opinion, is a must-have. It's pretty much the Cadillac of all mounts. By far and above the most user-friendly, awesome, sturdy, built like a tank, built from all crazy good materials. Like I said, it's the Cadillac of computer mounts, man. I've used them all. I have them all. The Ergotron arms work great. The Wacom tablets are fantastic. Some of the other ones are a little clunky. The Ergotron arms, too wavery. The Wacom ones are super nice, great builds. But to access them and to lock it in position, you almost have to crawl behind the monitor to get to where you need to be. This bad boy, this thing is just brilliant. I'll take some more shots and give you some close-ups in a little bit, but you can see, I'm not sure if you can see from that angle, there's these little strips right here, almost like a little magnetic strip, and as soon as you make connection with your finger on either side, it doesn't have to be both sides, you can just do it. I mean, it's a 27-inch monitor. You can imagine the weight on it and the clunkiness of it, but the way Chris has engineered this over there, you got one hand and you're moving it with zero effort. And if you're into standing, it's fantastic. Unlike the Ergotron arms and the other ones that will be wavery and whatnot, when you're using this, you set it to where you want it to be, let it hit the brake, and boom, you're locked in. You can stand just like you would at an art easel or a standing desk, which this is a standing desk, but you technically really wouldn't even need a standing desk if you got the right height with this thing. You're ready to go, man. And you can see, I'm moving, I'm pushing. I mean, if you're applying more pressure than that to your monitor, then you got other issues because this thing ain't going anywhere. So that's kind of the quick rundown. Let's take a little bit more of an in-depth look now from a few different angles. I'm going to show you this whole build of this thing a little bit more. So hang tight. All right, so we're going to take a little bit of a behind-the-scenes look of the Zoot system. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I believe I am. Like I said, I've been using it for about 2 months, and this thing is so cool. I saw the YouTube video, geez, I want to say maybe even like 2 years ago. I stumbled across a YouTube video of this thing online and thought it was so cool, and then the world shut down and pandemics happened and got busy with life and kind of forgot about it. And then scrolling around, watching some other art videos, I stumbled across a newer released video a while back, and I reached out to Chris over there and said, dude, I would love to give that thing a test drive. And he just happened to have this newest, latest, greatest version of the prototype, which I believe there's only a few of these out there, so I feel kind of special having this, to be honest with you. But he got one in the mail. He got this thing packed up and sent off to me right away, and I got it and I couldn't wait to set it up. To be honest with you, I'm not the most mechanical fella, and I had no instructions, just the box and all the pieces, and it took maybe 20-30 minutes to set up in total, and that was with no instructions. It was pretty self-explanatory, so I think most people would be pleasantly surprised, because to be honest with you, I was a little intimidated when I first saw it. You can see it's got quite the amount of awesomeness going on here. If you get around to the back of it, it looks like something out of Star Trek, which of course I kind of dig. So here you can see right here is the little magnetic strips, and slide around to a little better angle at the back end of this thing. So this is your braking system. This is what releases it. Like I said before, you can see one hand will do it. I mean, I'm holding the camera with one hand, and the other hand I'm moving a 27-inch monitor like it weighs nothing. So here's the swivel point in here, which it comes with this great tool that I don't have over here, but it's got a locking tool. You can set the tension of that depending on the weight of your monitor. So you can kind of totally lock it in place, or you can leave it a little bit freestanding, kind of so you got a little bit of movement here. And like I said, I don't use that a ton, but I do utilize that occasionally, and boy oh boy is it a fantastic feature to have. So you can tell, I mean, I'm assuming you can tell, but this thing is built, man. This is like the real deal. It's not the lightest monitor arm, but it shouldn't be. You want this thing to last, and please ignore this ugly cord. Like I said, this is the prototype. I just wired it up real quick. Everything is concealed. You can see the bar back here. This is all of your electrical, all of your connections are concealed in here. It's a really well-designed piece. It runs up, fits right through here, comes in, and you can plug it right into the back of here, all your extra cables. Like I said, this is kind of ugly. I got my one to just kind of freestyle and the other ones are tucked up in there, but if you're anything like me, once you get your system all set up, you want it to be clean and pretty and all organized, and this one delivers, man. These things, I did not believe it. I had seen the other videos online and I watched the guys sliding it around their desktops, this and that, and I thought, yeah, there's no way. There's no way something this massive, this heavy, when it has the monitor attached, the build of it, it's not going to float around your desktop just like they were showing. But by golly, this thing is just, must have some super space age alien plastic footers on there, because it slides. It slides really good. But it doesn't slide to the point where it interferes when you're working. It's stable enough. It doesn't slide all over on you, but when you do need to move it, it's effortless. I really just can't say enough good things about it.